Good evening. This is Rahul Magan here as a Group Chief Executive Officer, Treasury Consulting, and also a venture capitalist. As we speak, Treasury Consulting is a multinational headquartered group based out India, Singapore, and Hong Kong. More importantly, we are a 100% cash-rich group. Today, I would be covering my opinion about the gold. Today is Sunday and I spend considerable time, in collating the information about the Russia-Ukraine war, and also how the different central banks of the globe are accumulating the gold. So I spent almost 6 to 7 hours today on Google and trying to find out a lot of information, and few information, is still under the reading. I know you will not trust. Check this out. This is the proper bunch which I have taken. And in this bunch, I have studied almost many pages, but few pages are still pending. I'm a person who believes in research. So unlike Hindi media, I speak with facts. Let's begin the show. Russia-Ukraine war started near about 2.5 months ago. The Western world put lot of sanctions on Russia. Having said that, what had happened? Nothing. Russia was banned from SWIFT. SWIFT stands Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunications. But Russia somehow passed this. In English, Russia not failed. The reason is Russia having its own sovereign financial network known as SPFS, System for Transfer of Financial Message. As of 2020, around 400 financial institutions joined that network. China also having the similar network known as CIPS, which is Cross-Border Interbank Payment System. Only in 2021, this payment system processed near about 12.68 trillion. You heard me right. 12.68 trillion worth of payments, which is approximately 80 to 85% of Chinese GDP. But the story is completely changing. As we speak, the global FX reserves stands near about 12.68 trillion. 12.68 trillion. Out of which US composition is approximately 59%. So out of 12.68 trillion, US composition is around 59%. But I got a very staring statistics, and once I got these statistics, I was like, what the hell? Basically, where are we heading? Do you know, guys, out of 12.68 trillion worth of FX reserves, 13%, 13% is gold, which means that approximately 1.7 trillion worth of gold is held by the central banks. You heard me very right. 1.5 trillion. The feeling which you are getting, I got the same feeling when I got these statistics. Thanks to Sunday, I am able to spare a lot of time in research. So the total FX reserves is 12.68 trillion, and out of which US hold near about 59% of the stake. And you would be surprised to know that gold is holding 13%, 1-3, which is near about 1.7 trillion. It means 1.7 trillion worth of gold is held by the central banks. The story is not ending here, rather it is starting from here. According to the statistics, the three top countries who hold the FX reserves, number one is the China with 3.2 trillion. 3.2 trillion. Number two is the Saudi Arabia, which is near about 447 billion. You would be surprised to know that China is holding 1.07 trillion worth of US securities, which they are cutting. As per the statistics, China is cutting the size of US securities, which means Chinese who used to invest extensively in the US securities, now they are cutting it, which means that the dollar demand will cut. I got more staring statistics. In the past 2 decades, the gold share in the foreign exchange reserve has been rising. Central banks across the world bought 463 tons of gold in 2021. This statistics is provided by International Monetary Fund. RBI too mopped 77.5 metric ton. 77.5 metric ton. It is second highest after 2009. The US dollar share of the world foreign exchange declined to 25-year low to 59% at the end of 2020. Now, these statistics are glaring, which means that the central banks of the globe are buying the gold. Because as we speak, the total global FX reserves is 12.68 trillion, and out of which 13% is gold, which means 1.7 trillion. Now, the media may not be highlighting this, probably newspapers might not be highlighting this, but one thing which is very clear, that the central banks are ready for any mess up. This is the reason they are buying the gold. That's the reason they bought 463 tons of gold in 2021. I have more glaring statistics which I got, from the internet. In 2016, China renminbi became the first emerging market currency to be included in SDR. SDR stands Special Drawing Rights. The others are US dollar, euro, yen, and pound sterling. Before I move further, in 2016 also, I said that this is the beginning of Chinese yuan. But the Einstein, Edison's, Newton, they, said that Chinese will not survive. Rest is history. The other are US dollar, euro, yen, and sterling. China advocate the use of SDR basket as a global reserve currency. China long-term strategy is to peg currencies of its main trading partners to renminbi, while renminbi itself is pegged to a super sovereign reserve currency. So, the moral of the story is very, very clear, which is Russia, China, and the other central banks of the globe, they are very much mentally prepared regarding the movement in the gold. That is the reason they are buying the gold. I have one more statistics which I love to share. Now this statistics is more glaring. Now what this statistics is all about? Russia accounts 1.77% of global GDP. 1.77% of global GDP. It does account 42% of the global ammonium nitrate, which means a key raw material in the fertilizer. And Russia is the largest natural gas exporter of the globe. As we speak, Russia is the largest natural gas exporter of the globe. So how this story is shaping up? Russia, who is basically Europe, is near about 40% to 50% dependent on Russia as far as the natural gas requirements are concerned. So they need the natural gas from Russia. Russia is very clear from one side that they won't be giving natural gas in dollars. They will giving natural gas in Russian ruble, which technically known as bilateral currency pact. I'm planning a video on bilateral currency pact on my YouTube channel. So it means that Russia wanted to have a bilateral currency pact between GBP dollar, between euro dollar, between Swiss franc dollar, between yuan ruble, so between GBP and ruble, euro and ruble, Swiss franc and ruble, Chinese yuan and ruble, and maybe more currency. Somehow or not, Russia is getting successful. Now, which means that once these bilateral pacts are signed, then the demand for the US dollar will come down substantially. And once the demand for US dollar will come down substantially, then US, who is already sitting at near about 32 trillion worth of debt, it would bring towards the complete default. Yes, I know what I'm talking about, because 2 years ago when I said that the Future Group will default, then everyone laughed. They said that Future Group bought up by Reliance, now Future Group would be the future. You know what had happened yesterday. Reliance called off the deal with the Future Group. And now the 25,000 crores, I repeat, 25,000 crores worth of the debt is, where it's going to be. US dollar is moving towards bankruptcy because the current statistics are glaring. Whether it is the gold which is held by the central banks, whether the percentage of the gold as a composition of FX reserves, whether the increase in the usage of the Chinese yuan, which is near about 6% of the global FX reserve, whether, the Russian dominance in terms of the metals, in terms of the natural gas, and the bilateral currency pact to be signed between Russia and other countries. And last but not the least, the sovereign financial network, which Russia already owned. Keeping this as a big factor, I feel that the sanctions which West is imposing on Russia is going to be futile. Because after 1 week of healthy research on the Google, printing of lot of information, like you can see that I've just shown you, I concluded that the sanctions which the world is putting on Russia is practically useless. Now, which means that we are either heading towards the gold standard, the Bretton Woods gold standard of 1970, or gold would be beyond exceptions. I repeat, gold would be beyond exceptions. And one thing which is certainly sure now is that the gold, basically the US dollar, is heading towards a probable crash, which practically means that USD would lose. And God forbid, if Federal Reserve hike the rate by 50 bips in this upcoming May meeting and subsequent 25 bips probably in the upcoming meetings, then it's an end of show. Because it means that the finance cost, the cost of raising the debt by US would grow substantially, which eventually would trigger the default of US dollar. Like my way, I always warn the people, and this time also I warn the people. Rest is definitely your call, because to me, like, dislike, comment, views, all these things are immaterial. I promised every day we'll have a Facebook Live. I'm always trying to have a Facebook Live of 15 minutes every day. Thank you very much. But today is a Super Sunday, and I got a lot of information on the Google. I am comprehending more information. Probably in the upcoming Facebook Connects, I would be showing more information. But one thing which I would like to speak once again, after collating all these information from the Google, one thing is certainly sure, that the media is paid. Because none of the information which I got from the Google is reflected by the media. None of the information. This is Rahul Magan from Treasury Consulting Group. You knew my personal number, 9899242978. 9899242978. Have a great time ahead. Good evening. This side Rahul Magan here is a Group Chief Executive Officer, Treasury Consulting, and also a venture capitalist. As we speak, Treasury Consulting is a multinational headquartered group based out Singapore and 100% profitable. So before I commence today Facebook Connect, I would like to give you a good news that our OTT platform, which is over the top, is moving towards 170 videos. And God willing, we would be able to reach the target of near about 500 plus videos by December 22. Also, our OTT platform, TRFX Academy, is planning to launch Hindi videos probably in the month of May. So as we speak, the complete 160 plus videos are in English. But from the month of May, we would be starting shooting in Hindi also. And we are completely in line with our statement that sooner or later we would be challenging Amazon and Netflix. You know, prediction is the most difficult thing you have to do, because no one in the world wanted to do research. No one in the world wanted to do research. Research is very painful job. You need to collate the data, you need to study the data, you need to analyze the data, and then you need to, project. And this is the reason why majority of the research in the world is nothing but the copy paste. I have noticed this because as an ex-corporate treasurer and now running my own fund, I'm getting multiple research reports from the bank. And more or less, the kind of feeling which I'm getting is that the research is more or less intact. Nothing different at all. Hardly plus minus 5%. When the Future Group signed the deal with the Reliance Retail, I was in the public domain and I was clearly speaking that, this deal will not go through. But thanks to the Indian media, who was always like Reliance would be winning the Future Group. But anyways, I was simply listening, so no comments. Yesterday, Reliance said no to Future Group. And today, the same corrupt and sold media has started saying, what is the future of Future Group? Girgit and Indian media are not same, I have to say, because at least Girgit is known for changing colors. I know I can use chameleon as an English word for Girgit, but I'm deliberately using Girgit. Girgit is known of changing colors, but Indian media can change color. Probably Girgit is ashamed of. And today there is another example. Like 2 months ago, 2 months ago, when Indian market was up, the same Girgit media used to say there is no impact of Russia-Ukraine war on India. Today, the same media started saying that there is an impact of Ukraine-Russia war on the Indian market. What kind of person you are up to? That's a brilliant point. Anyways, today I got the data, and this data is from the Money Control website. You know that nowadays I have changed the habit, and the habit is as and when I'm getting the data, I take a printout of that, I studied it, and then I make a video on that. Future Group is currently having a dues of near about 28,900 crores. You heard me very right. 28,900 crores. This is the data which I got it from Money Control website, and you can clearly see the figure of 28,900 crore. This is the dues of Future Group. Insolvency and bankruptcy code in India, you know how successful it is. Even the parliamentary committee has said that there are significant changes required in the insolvency and bankruptcy code. The minimum haircut insolvency and bankruptcy code currently having is around 80%, which means if I go with the same haircut, then 80% of near about 29,000 crore would be phased out. And who would be losing this? Either it would be financial creditors, which may be bank, financial institution, could be private equity firms, or the operational creditors, who are nothing but the vendors. Either of that would have to lose, or probably both would be losing. But since Future Group is in a deep mess, the chances of recovery is very, very limited. Now, let me study this thing for you. Future Group lenders plans to drag other group companies to the bankruptcy court, which is NCLT, National Company Law Tribunal, seeks maximum debt recovery. That is the dream. Creditors of the debt-laden Future Group are considering clubbing all the group company under the bankruptcy process after Reliance Industries Limited called off a deal to acquire the Kishore Bayani company. Multiple banker and the legal experts told Money Control on Monday that the group insolvency process could be the best way forward for banks to maximize debt recovery. You would be surprised to know that lenders of the group include Bank of India, Union Bank of India, State Bank of India, Bank of Baroda, and IDBI Bank, among others. The lenders have together lent more than 28,000 crores to bank. One thing which I fail to understand till now, why always public sector bank lend to such companies whose business models are subject to fail? I have seen enough instances whereby the companies failed and the public sector banks lended them a huge amount of money. Now, in this case also, we have Bank of India, Union Bank of India, State Bank of India, Bank of Baroda, IDBI, among others, and the total lended more than 28,000 crores to the group. You would be surprised to know that Bank of India on 14th April filed insolvency proceedings against Future Retail for non-payment of dues. Future Retail owned banks near about 5,400 crores as of 31st March. Future Retail lost around 4,500 crores in the last 4 quarters. 4,500 crores. My biggest question is, where were the credit rating agencies? Where were the Reserve Bank of India? Where were the banks? Where were the media? Why they were not informed that this group may end up in a trouble? Why they were not informed? This is yet again an evidence that these regulatory institutions, which includes Reserve Bank of India, other regulators, the credit rating agencies, and the so-called corrupt media, they never inform the investor. See this. I do not have the data of the non-convertible debentures being raised by the Future Group companies, but I am sure that the data would be with me very soon as I am searching the internet. Now this raises multiple concerns and I have the evidence. Today I have taken multiple printouts. You know that now I am doing a lot of research nowadays, and every time I busy myself in doing the research, and eventually the videos will come on the YouTube and the social media. This is Urban Company. Urban Company lost 250 crores in financial year 21. 250 crores. This is Udaan. Udaan lost 2,482 crores. If I add financial year 20, it is around 5,000 crores. So only in 2 years, which is financial year 20 and 21, this company lost 5,000 crores. This is Blinkit. Blinkit lost 557 crores in financial year 21. If I include financial year 20, near about 1,450 crores. This is the other company. These all are the evidences that the e-commerce business in India is running on shambles. Now, whether this is a startup or whether this is the established company, The situation of Paytm, Amazon, Flipkart, Snapdeal is not different. They all are loss-making company. For Amazon, I can understand because Amazon parent is a cash-rich company. Their share price is $3,600, which is more than 2,20,000 rupees per share. They earn in dollars and spend in rupees. So that I can understand. That I have no problem in understanding Amazon. So Amazon currently is an outlier, odd man out, because Amazon is in a situation where my Amazon can fight even for a longer period of time, probably even for 10 years, maybe more than 10 years. But what about the other e-commerce player? What about Reliance Retail? Because the brick and mortar e-commerce is falling. Of course, I am collating the data. In financial year 21 itself, many e-commerce players who hold brick and mortar business collapsed, completely collapsed. Guys, this Future Group is not a different thing. Future Group is a live example of the fact that once you grow substantially higher and once you take a substantial debt in the books, then you are bound to lose. I will again repeat, the lenders like Bank of India, Union Bank of India, State Bank of India, Bank of Baroda, IDBI Bank, among others, they have lended more than 28,000 crores to that company. And now this whole 28,000 crore is more or less a non-performing asset. Because common sense is that the company is extensively losing. Now check this. Now the companies will most likely to be dragged in the insolvency court. Potential suitors, that could also be include Reliance, will have to rework the asset size of the company and submit the fresh bids. Depending on the size of the new bids, bank will reassess their haircuts and the debt recovery potential. Sanjeev Bhasin, Director of IIFL Securities. Look like Sanjeev Bhasin is not aware that in insolvency proceeding, the history is of 80% haircut. Guys, to conclude the story today, like I warned people about the Future Group, now I am warning you all once again, which is the e-commerce business model in India, which includes the 10-minute delivery model, which includes the companies like Future Group, which includes the name I mentioned. This is not a sustainable business model, because sustainable business model is which is in profit, and this business model is an extensive cash guzzling business model. Because of this extensive cash guzzling nature, this business model cannot be profitable even after many years. We have seen Blinkit sold to Zomato. We have seen many e-commerce startups winded up, and now the Future Group. And we know that Russia-Ukraine war is going on. Supply side is already a constraint. So I request the investor, please stay away from the e-commerce industry, because sooner or later such kind of news would be on the cards, and complete collapse is very, very near. So one has to be very, very careful. This is what I would like to say. To conclude, the e-commerce industry is not sustainable in India because of multiple facts. This is Rahul Magan from Treasury Consulting Group. You knew my personal number 9899242978. I repeat, 9899242978. Have a great time ahead. Thank you. Good evening. This side Rahul Magan here as a Group Chief Executive Officer, Treasury Consulting, and also a venture capitalist. As we speak, Treasury Consulting is a multinational headquartered group based out Singapore, and more importantly, 100% profitable in nature. Before I continue, I would like to give you a good news, and that news is our OTT platform, Over the Top, today launched the wealth management platform. But let me repeat. By wealth management platform, I mean it is a video learning platform. So it is not a trading platform where we are offering tips and all these, buy this, sell this, something like that. No, it is a learning platform whereby we would be giving learning in terms of videos. And probably in this wealth management platform, as we speak, we are covering the Indian indices. But very soon, by very soon, I mean very soon, we would be covering the Asian indices also, which includes Singapore, Dubai, and the Hong Kong entities. It's a matter of time. So the beginning has done. Probably by May, you can say, we would have our Dubai, Hong Kong, and the Asian indices desk would be ready. A big learning platform is on the way, but Indian indices is already started. Today, I would like to cover a very important topic, which is yet on the, a very latest news, which I downloaded on the Google. From the last many years, I am consistently on the social media and talking a very simple fact, which is that the startup culture in India is standing at a valuation which is completely unjustified. And more importantly, the financial statements of many startups in India do not support a going concern. So let's take an example of Paytm, which is standing at accumulated debt, accumulated losses, which is also known as negative retained earnings, to the tune of 12,500 crores. You heard me very right. 12,500 crores. And every year, this losses is accumulating in the books. But thanks to the auditors, thanks to the regulatory framework, and thanks to the knowledge of the people, these things will never come in the public. And one golden day will come when this thing will come and the share price will collapse. This is how it works. Because 90% of the people in India, rather more, do not know how to study the balance sheet. Because for them, the life starts at Nifty and life ends at Bank Nifty. This is how the system works in India, To be honest, the definition of knowledge in India is Nifty and Bank Nifty, which means if you know Nifty and Bank Nifty, you are knowledgeable. But apart from that, if you know anything, you are not knowledgeable. But like me, to me, all these things are immaterial. To me, the world of knowledge is really very, very, very big and would continue to be. Today, I downloaded an article, which is 16 hours ago article on the internet. And that article is really, really, very much interesting article. And, this article speaks about how the so-called startup ecosystem is failing. I am a very strong believer of the fact that these venture capitalist firms like Sequoia, KKR, Tiger Global, majority of their portfolio is in losses. But it is more than a miracle that how they are earning billions of dollars. So this article, which is titled Big Name Investor Sequoia big name investor Sequoia say startup due diligence is hard as 4 of its Asian portfolio companies face allegation of frauds or misconduct. Have you seen any Indian media channel cover this? I repeat the name. Big name investor Sequoia say startup due diligence is hard as 4 of its Asian portfolio companies face allegations of fraud or misconduct. Let me study. Sequoia Capital India, a major investor in a Southeast Asian startup, has said that due diligence on the early stage startup is tough as 4 of its company face fraud or misconduct allegation. Why the due diligence in the startup is tough? You are such a big venture capitalist. You have a huge workforce. You have the complete system in place. You have computers. You have research team. Then why the startup due diligence is difficult? What the hell are you talking? Irrespective of having all infrastructure, you mean to say the startup due diligence is difficult. And thanks to the media, they haven't raised that point. I haven't seen a single business channel of India covering this issue. In a blogspot blog post not attributed to a particular author, the firm say recent some portfolio founders have been under investigation for potential fraudulent practices or poor governance. These allegations are deeply disturbing. Do you really think so that the startups who claim to be $1 billion valuation companies, they deserve that? Let me give you one more live example. This is the live example which I have downloaded from internet today. I hope you know a gentleman called Amitabh Bachchan. There is hardly anything he cannot promote. He can promote a bank. He can promote a non-banking financial corporation. He can promote gold products. He can promote pharmaceutical companies. He can promote Coca-Cola. He can promote Scooty. He can promote anything. Anything he can promote. Because one thing which is surely there for Bollywood and cricketers in India is they do not need degree, certification and knowledge. The only thing they need is the money. This is the reason a delivery boy, who basically do the delivery, mostly of them are graduates. But these Bollywood stars, they, without having any knowledge, promoting the product. I hope on the TV you have seen Amitabh Bachchan promoting upgrad MBA. Is Amitabh Bachchan himself an MBA? Someone who is not MBA is promoting MBA. So if I start promoting physics, how would it be? You yourself is not an MBA and you are promoting MBA. MBA of a loss-making company. This is the evidence. The EdTech unicorn has posted a consolidated revenue of 302 crores from operations. 86% rise from the earlier year. The startup losses is 211 crore. So see this. Your income is 302 crores for financial year 21. Out of 302 crores of income, your losses is 211 crore. This is called upgrad. And Amitabh Bachchan is promoting this company. So first of all, the biggest question is, which I doubt whether Einstein would be able to answer, that a company who earns 302 crores of revenue and out of which they getting a loss of 211 crore, can this company be a going concern company? Number one, I got another evidence. which is the White Hat Junior. This is again downloaded from the internet. Separate YouTube videos would come because I need time to make the notes and everything, each and everything. Now let's check this out. White Hat Junior, which bought up by Juice by paying I think 300 million US dollar. This White Hat Junior in 2020 having an operating revenue of mere 19 crores. Mere 19 crores. Fundamental question is, a 19 crore operating revenue company is bought at $300 million. Mere 19 crore, which is near about less than 3 million US dollars. Less than 3 million US dollar operating revenue company is bought at $300 million. I think you need a degree from Harvard to justify this, because I cannot justify this. So in 2020, White Hat Junior operating revenue was 19 crore, while their losses were around 49 crores. In 2021, their operating revenue 484 crores, which is nearly 25 times. And their losses is around 1700 crores. You heard me very right. 1700 crores is the losses. This is White Hat Junior. And this is the upgrade. Now, it's a common sense. It's a common sense that these companies who claim to be $1 billion unicorn companies, I again repeat, the EdTech unicorn. Unicorn is the company who is standing at a valuation of $1 billion. Can a company who posts a loss of 211 crores, can this company be a unicorn company? Now let's check once again this Sequoia document. And I'll tell you a very, very important fact. Because to me, these things hardly matter. The like, dislike, comments, these things hardly matter. If no one even like my videos, doesn't matter. Very recently, a company, e-commerce company in Singapore is in news for negative reasons. And what is that negative reason? It is the issue in their financial statement. I repeated this many times that Singapore, who claim to be a global financial center, actually Singapore is not a global financial center. And if you are thinking there are no corrupt practices in Singapore, then you are highly mistaken. There are corrupt practices in Singapore as well. If I look at this article, in Singapore, there is a company called Zlingo. Zlingo is estimated to worth 970 million. 970 million. And do you know that Zlingo earlier this month suspended his co-founder and CEO Ankati Bose? Just open Google and type Ankati Bose. Many magazines have made her a queen. Many magazines made her a queen. Zlingo earlier this month suspended its co-founder and CEO Ankati Bose amid a financial probe to its accounting malpractices. And Sequoia and Temasek. Temasek is the Singapore Sovereign Wealth Fund, SWF, owned by Government of Singapore. They both invested in this company. And Sequoia Managing Director Shailendra Singh resigned from the board and his duty is done. Did anyone in India, any media channel in India, any newspaper in India, any anchor in India rates that voice that if the e-commerce company in Singapore, Zlingo, is found of malpractices in the financial statements and the co-founder Ankati Bose is suspended, can it be in India as well? Never. Never. Guys, when you read these kind of articles, you believe like we are living in the world of frauds, complete frauds. It is hard to trust anyone. Someone who not a MBA is promoting pan masala, Pepsi, Coca-Cola, Scooty, gold products, NBFC, bank, whatnot. If today NASA will contact Amitabh Bachchan and say, promote NASA, he will start promoting NASA because he get the money. I challenged Amitabh Bachchan on the Twitter that what is your banking credentials, and no reply has come. And the same is the scene with more or less many Bollywood actors. And now the same company who is being promoted by Amitabh Bachchan, this company is claiming to be a unicorn. Unicorn means $1 billion plus company. And out of 302 crore of revenue, they lost 211 crores. This is the credential of this company, and this company is being promoted by Amitabh Bachchan. This company. And Whitehead Jr., I told you, on just a 49 crore of revenue, 484 crore of revenue, they lost near about 1700 crores. This kind of business model is actually happening in India. And we all are watching. Just to conclude the story, when the companies collapse, when any fraud came into the picture, we all cry. I don't think we have a right to cry. I don't think so, because we are the one who give hype to the frauds. We never raised our voice. And since we never raised our voice, a day came when these things collapsed. Please check about the Credit Suisse also. I have made a separate video, probably in a day or so, it would be live on YouTube. Next time when any fraud happen in India, I would definitely be covering on my YouTube, but I won't have any sympathy towards Indian investors. Because one thing Indian investors I have seen in the last many years is that they never raise their voice. Let it be attitude. And I'm thankful to the internet for providing me such a wonderful information. And as always, we are live on the Facebook. Have a great time ahead. This is Rahul Magan here from Treasury Consulting Group. Now our wealth management learning platform is live. I assure you, it's a matter of time. Probably rather couple of months. Our learning platform would be covering Dubai, Singapore, Hong Kong, and India, and multiple countries. I'm assuring you right away that. Have a great time ahead. This is Rahul Magan from Treasury Consulting Group. My personal number is 9899242978. 9899242978. Have a great time ahead. Thank you. Good evening, friends. And this is Rahul Magan here as a Group Chief Executive Officer, Treasury Consulting, and also a venture capitalist. As we speak, Treasury Consulting is a multinational headquartered group. And more importantly, we are 100% profitable company. Before I start the Today Facebook Connect, I'm extremely pleased that our wealth management learnings platform uploaded the analysis of Sale India video, Sale India balance sheet. Probably very soon we would be uploading another, which is Gale India or maybe other. Now, having said that, very soon we would be having videos covering Singaporean, Dubai and Hong Kong stocks also. The main purpose of our wealth management learnings platform is to grow the knowledge exponentially, and that we will do. Now it has started and this platform is live and people are joining. In case you have any question, you can WhatsApp 9899242978. 9899242978. So this document which I printed today, I'm going to be printing more documents in a later stage of time. But like I always said that American companies, including when I say companies, American banks as well, they are always far-looking people. Basically, they think beyond convention. So today I got two news. One, ICICI Bank. Number two, the Goldman Sachs. ICICI Bank said that they would be doubling their loan book covering small and medium-term enterprises. You can refer Google. This information is on the Google itself. And I completely disregard that because we are entering into the world of war. The ground reality of the small and medium-term enterprises in India is very poor. Banks are phasing out non-performing asset. That's a separate thing that the corrupt media never highlight this. Keeping this as a backdrop, the decision of, I would say, doubling the SME book, I don't think I'm going to be agree with this. Anyways, time would be tell more information. And second is the Goldman Sachs. I always said that American banks reporting, which is known as 10K, is far better than Indian banks reporting. 10K is like Switzerland, and Indian bank reporting is just like, I would say, any small town in India. Goldman Sachs 10K is around 800 pages. And the kind of information they are sharing in the 800 pages is exorbitant. I always download their 10K, print it and study line by line, page by page. Lots of information and very interesting content. It's not about Goldman, it's about Goldman, JP, almost everyone having a very beautiful 10K. But that's a separate thing that in the Indian MBA institutions, 10K is never discussed. I'm sure that 90% of you heard 10K first time. Because I again repeat one line. In India, the life starts with Nifty and ends at Bank Nifty. So if you are uploading the video on Indian stocks and giving a hype, example, this stock will go there, this stock will go there, you are king. But if you talk about 10K, you are not king. Because the life starts with Nifty and ends at Bank Nifty. This is how India actually works. As simple as that. But we believe that one day our banks would be like Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, maybe Morgan Stanley and all this. But what is the hard reality? We are aware about. Today, Goldman Sachs did yet another beautiful thing. It's near about 1 month time. 1 month ago, Goldman Sachs did crypto OTC option. OTC means over the counter option. So just take a simplistic example. Suppose the counterparty is any HNI, high net worth individual. He holds the crypto. Just take an example, Bitcoin example. His bank is, Goldman Sachs. Now, Goldman Sachs is ready to have the crypto OTC, over the counter contract with the client. This news was a wonderful news, and I was very impressed the way Goldman handled it. And of course, now many American banks have started copying that. That's a separate thing that in India, the crypto volume is down by 70%. You heard me right, 70%. And the credit goes to the crypto tax. While on the other hand, Dubai is gaining in crypto. They are sanctioning the license after license and getting a lot of business in crypto. But India lost the business in crypto only because of the tax. Today, Goldman did yet another beautiful thing, which is Goldman Sachs Group offered its first ever lending facility backed up by Bitcoin. In a significant step for a major US bank that accelerates Wall Street embers of cryptocurrency. I am always a strong believer that Goldman is a first mover in many things. Goldman is always a first mover, and I'm sure that 90% people, those who are watching this Facebook Connect, they never been to the 10K of the Goldman Sachs. Because if you been to the 10K of the Goldman Sachs, you would have got to know that their derivative book is over $1 trillion. Over $1 trillion. And you name the derivative they have in their book. This is the beauty of Goldman Sachs. It's a 150-year-old bank with $1 trillion asset book, near about $1 trillion derivative book, which is a beauty. And now Goldman Sachs is basically offering the lending facility backed up by the crypto, which, by the way, is a very great push Goldman is doing as far as the crypto assets are concerned. If I study more, the secured lending facility lent collateralized by Bitcoin owned by the borrower. So how it works? So Goldman, suppose there is a person who hold 1 million Bitcoin, assuming whatever the name might be. This person wanted to have funding. Now, since he wanted to have funding, he can connect the Goldman Sachs. And Goldman Sachs will take the Bitcoin ownership, of course, as a collateral. And then they would be giving him some cash. But the only information which I'm not getting here on the internet, I'm trying hard, is the haircut. The reason is Bitcoin is not only Bitcoin, all the crypto assets are extremely volatile. Now, whether this is Bitcoin, whether this is, XRP or any crypto assets, they are highly volatile. So in that regards, what is the haircut Goldman Sachs is charging? I'm sure Goldman won't be charging 10% or 20% because Goldman himself aware that the kind of volatility crypto can face. And very important thing, the deal was interesting to Goldman because of its structure and 24 hours risk management. The detail is not yet in public, but it means that Goldman must be having a desk, kind of crypto desk, which I think they already hold. And this desk is 24-hour risk management in the crypto assets, which is mandatory because crypto is a highly volatile asset class. Even on Saturday and Sundays, when the whole global market is off, the crypto do trade. So any information comes on Sunday might trigger a sellout in Bitcoin or probably take Bitcoin to the higher, which is a concern for Goldman because they have lent their money to the borrower. So example, they lent $100 million, example, to that person. And suppose the coming Sunday, they are getting a news in a global market. There is a news that China is banning the use of Bitcoin in China. It's a hypothetical example. Don't take it as a real life example. Now, suppose this news came on Sunday itself, Bitcoin would collapse from 39,000 to probably 25,000 after this news. Now, if Goldman, who lent to this borrower, whatever the name might be, now Goldman is in big trouble because the money they lent it is higher than the collateral they are holding. So 24 hours risk management is definitely necessity, but there is a problem. The problem is the cross combination. Bitcoin, now this is called a ratio trade. I don't know how much knowledge do you have in crypto, but in crypto, there is a concept called ratio trade. So let me give you a simplistic example. Suppose you have Bitcoin and you have Ether. Bitcoin Ether ratio is also subject to trade. Sometimes this ratio go up, sometimes this ratio go down. So what people generally do, they buy and sell the Bitcoin. So one side they buy the Bitcoin, other side they sell the Bitcoin. This is called the ratio trade, but this is very, I don't say it is risky, but here you need capital and you need a very good skill set. There is also a trade in crypto which is called currency crypto. So let's take an example, Bitcoin. Bitcoin is currently offered in 3 currencies, and I'm sure 90% of you are not aware about that. Number 1, Bitcoin is offered in US dollar. Number 2, Bitcoin is offered in GBP. Number 3, Bitcoin is offered in Euro. So as we speak, Euro is near about 1.05. It was 1.12 around a month ago. Intelligent people sold Euro and they are in gains. Now the beauty is Bitcoin Euro is more volatile, not because of the Bitcoin. It is there because of Bitcoin, but because of Euro also. So there are 3 forms of trades we have in crypto. Number 1, the normal crypto trades like Bitcoin, Ether, XRP, ZRX, XLM, and all these coins, stable coins or meme coins. Other is the ratio trade, where you need a strong skill set. And unfortunately, Indian investors' life starts with Nifty and ends at Bank Nifty. So knowledge is of no use. Actually, in India also knowledge is of no use, because you go to MBA institutions, you go to education institutions, the course curriculum you being taught is taught during the Akbar days. Even in the CFA, as we speak, the crypto is not being taught. Anyways, that's not my problem, because I have made several videos on the technical topics on my YouTube channel, challenging almost everybody, but no one replied. The biggest beauty is that the other, the big banks are following this. So example, now there is a news coming that Jefferies Financial Group, by the way, they are also a brokerage firm in India. Jefferies Financial Group is also expanding banking services for crypto clients, while BlackRock, who is the largest asset manager of the globe, joined a $400 million funding round in stablecoin firm Circle this month. Boutique investment firm Cowen also start the digital asset unit in March. So the moral of the story is very clear. And this is the moral of the story. Of course, I would be making more videos, but that would be on my OTT platform. Sample videos might come on the YouTube channel. The next few years is of crypto, but let me complete before you just copy this statement. Not all crypto coins are subject to investment. That's a very important thing. Crypto is subject to extensive research. That's more important fact about the crypto. If you are doing the research in crypto, you will never lose. But if you do not do the research in crypto, you will always lose. That's more important thing, because like I raised my voice in ICO, initial coin offering, and all these STO and SCOs, there are still many coins we have in, crypto that don't deserve any form of investment. But crypto is a very knowledgeable topic also. That's the beauty of the game. And unfortunately, we denied that. We are really not interested in learning new things. Anyways, I would like to thank you, Goldman Sachs. And I think that Goldman Sachs once again proved me right that the American entrepreneurship is way above than any other entrepreneurship, because I can't expect these kind of things via any Indian banks. Because Indian banks focus is always the app, the loans, the all these credit cards, debit cards, while American bank, they have a wide focus. And this is the beauty of the game. This is the beauty of the life. And I think that's the reason they are very big. I once again congratulate Goldman Sachs for taking this initiative. And I hope that being a Goldman Sachs, they have taken all risk parameters into consideration, because they are playing with fire. But Goldman is Goldman, and I am collating more information from the Google in this regard, and I am hopeful that I will get more information, but more videos would now be private. But yes, crypto is a very interesting asset class, and I myself spending a lot of time in crypto, and I assure you a lot of interesting things to come very soon from Treasury Consulting side as well. Because Treasury Consulting do not believe in theory. That's the beauty. This is Rahul Magan from Treasury Consulting Group. You know our number 9899242978. 9899242978. Come on, what are you talking? What is the blockchain trilemma? The problem we have in the system. You wrote block crypto derivatives. Do you know that what form of crypto derivatives are being traded now? We do not. Guys, the blockchain, what you studying in India, in Indian books, is tip of an iceberg. Tip of an iceberg. The real blockchain use is happening in China. You please check it out. They have their digital currency, which is known as CBDC, Central Bank Digital Currency, and expanding, by the way. But our ego hurts when we speak that we are being forced to learn from China. Our ego hurts. That we learn from China? Oh my God. China payment system is way beyond than Indian payment system. You even can't assume. Alibaba, and so many companies, they are way beyond. That's a separate thing that our media never wants to acknowledge this. That's the biggest thing. With due respect, when was the last time you opened the Google and just simply type Chinese payment gateways? Never. So guys, with due respect, we are busy in doing those things which are immaterial. We believe Paytm is a success. You know what is going on. We believe Zomato, Swiggy, Lenskart, Byju's, Ola, and all these companies is a success. You know what is happening? Alibaba, Tencent, they are way above. They think 25 year ahead. 25 year ahead. And our ego hurts if we acknowledge their success. And that is just to conclude with due respect, if you wanted to be knowledgeable, Chanakya said this to Chandragupta Maurya, that dear friend, if you wanted to be a knowledgeable person, praise your enemy also. Because he might be more knowledgeable than you. Because the time you are praising your enemy, you are acknowledging that he is more knowledgeable than you. Like I acknowledge Goldman Sachs openly. But we never praise our enemy because of ego. And that's a problem. So guys, wake up. Else it would be too late. I'm telling you, the kind of thing we are busy into would let us nowhere. The world is moving very fast. And we are losing. Very fast. This is Rahul Magan from Treasury Consulting Group. You know my personal number, 9899242978. Thank you and have a great time ahead.